Hello, in this video we will be covering the new deep sea trawling method from the sailing update, a hybrid sailing and fishing activity where you can chase moving shoals across the ocean whilst managing your ship and your net depth. So what is deep sea trawling? Deep sea trawling is a fishing method carried out entirely at sea using your boat. Shoals move along a fixed path and your job is to track them down, catch up and stay aligned with them whilst managing your net depth. There are fishing levels required for this method. You need 69 for giant krill, 73 for haddock, 79 for yellowfin, 83 for halibut, 86 for bluefin, and 91 for marlin. This is currently the only way to catch marlin, which heals 24 hit points and is now the highest single healing food in the game. It's also the only way to catch bluefin, which heal 22 hit points and restore 5 prayer points for every bite, making it extremely useful for PvM, Slayer, and raids. Alongside these two, you also gain access to several other new fish that offer strong utility effects or herb lore components. Deep sea trawling isn't just about the food items. This activity is tied to multiple big fish collection log entries, making it important for cloggers aiming to complete everything sailing has to offer. Some of the big fish logs are extremely rare, adding long-term goals for completionists. It should also be noted that deep sea trawling is currently the only way to obtain the Angler's Paint, another collection log slot. This is required to make Merchant's Paint as well, which is a cosmetic item that currently sells for a very high price on the Grand Exchange. So between best in slot foods, rare secondaries, high valuable paint items and collection log targets, there's a lot of long-term value packed into this method. Now it should be noted I will not be giving precise XP rates in this guide. Every shoal, crew setup and boat build process produces different results, but overall the XP from trawling is not good. You're mainly here for the fish themselves, the money and the collection logs. Hopefully as more players start to engage with this content, we'll see improvements and buffs to make it feel more rewarding. Before we get into the method, let's quickly cover your boat requirements because this is an essential part for overall efficiency. For deep sea trawling you want to be using your sloop, the big boat. The reason is simple, the sloop has enough space to comfortably run 2 trawling nets alongside your baiting station, which is the ideal setup for this activity. I actually highly recommend you build a second sloop, specifically for deep sea trawling. Most players already have their main big boat set up for salvaging, and switching back and forth between layouts means consistently removing and replacing facilities. Having a dedicated trawling boat saves a lot of time and makes the whole process a lot smoother. Now with all that out the way, there are a couple of important things I want to cover before we get into the actual method. The first one is fish crates, because these allow you to extend your trips massively. Fish crates are made by taking a Cam 4 crate and using an ice cooler on it. Once created, each crate can store 10 of any raw fish. These are stackable when empty, but not when filled. However, they only take up 1 slot in your cargo hold even when they are full. So if you've got a cargo of let's say 40, this means you can carry 400 fish before heading back to land. Next up is the Trawlers Trust. This is a drink that you put into the keg of your player's ship. Whilst you're on board, it gives you a 5% catch rate boost. You can however only use this once you've charted 50 seas across all the oceans, so it's something you unlock a little bit later into the skill. It's not a huge buff, but when you're chasing higher end shoals, every little helps. Now, the most important part, your nets. Throughout the method, the fish swim at 3 different heights, shallow, moderate and deep, and your net has to match the correct depth or you won't catch anything. This is exactly why we use higher tier nets like cotton. The basic nets can only reach to the shallow or mid depth levels, while the higher tier nets can reach the deeper levels where fish like marlin reside. Next up we have Fathoms. You'll also need a reliable way to locate these shoals, because sailing around blindly wastes a lot of time. This is where the Fathoms come in. The first option to build on your boat is a Fathom Stone, a ship facility you can build once you hit the required sailing and construction levels. When you use it, it will give you the general direction to locate the nearest shoal, basically telling you roughly where to head so you're not left guessing. Later on, you can upgrade to the Fathom Pearl. This is a higher level, rarer facility that does the same job but much more precisely. Instead of just giving you a broad direction, it gives you an exact arrow marker on your minimap and clear guidance to the shoal, which makes tracking them down a lot faster and cleaner. You don't need the pearl to do deep sea trawling, the stone is enough once you learn the routes, but if you're doing a lot of this content, the Fathom Pearl is a very nice quality of life upgrade. Finally, before we move into the method, there's one more important facility worth mentioning, the baiting station, also known as the chum station. The basic chum station lets you or a crewmate prepare simple fish offcuts and then spread them into the water as bait. If you upgrade to the advanced chum station, you can prepare fine fish offcuts, which are better bait and give more consistent catches on higher level shoals. You don't have to use bait for deep sea trawling, but it does increase your catch rate and makes each run feel noticeably more efficient. Before you head out, you'll need to know which fish you're going for. In my case, I'm hunting marlins. Each group of fish follows a static path across the ocean floor, and they have a set point where they stop for a short time. These paths never change. I've linked the map in the description, and on screen is the exact path that my marlin group follows. Make sure you check the wiki map for the specific fish you're targeting before you set sail. It makes the entire process much easier. After acquiring your specific map path, you want to head out at the nearest dock, using your fathoms to locate the group you're targeting. The stone will give you a general direction whilst the pearl gives much clearer guidance. Follow the arrow and end up where the fish are. Once you've located the group of fish, give yourself a moment to get fully set up before you engage with the first stop point. Make sure your fish offcuts and fish crates are already in your cargo hold so they can be used properly during the run. Open your boat's inventory tab and assign your crewmates. Jenkins on one of the nets, Jim to the baiting station. If you haven't already, assign a crew member to handle the helm so you can focus entirely on your nets and positioning. Once everything is in place, sail towards the first stopping point along the path. Place your boat in the general area of the fish, and ideally already lined up with where the next stop on their path will be. This lets you catch fish whilst they're stopped and whilst they're travelling to their next location. This is where knowing the paths becomes incredibly useful. The better you understand where the fish are heading next, the easier it is to stay on top of them and maximize your catches. One of the key parts of deep sea trawling is the depth management. The fish can move between 3 depths, shallow, moderate and deep, and your nets must match their depth or you won't catch anything. You'll get messages in your chat box telling you when the fish are too high, too low and at the right depth. Keep your chat box open at all times until a RuneLite plugin is made for this content. The most important tip is to keep your net and Jenkins' net in sync. If you raise yours, raise his. If you lower yours, lower his. You can adjust them using the up and down arrows on your ship's interface. When the depth is correct, you'll get a green confirmation message and begin catching fish. You'll also see blue chat box messages that act as a small warning when fish are about to change depths. These help you prepare to raise or lower the nets before the shift actually happens. That said, this system is quite unreliable. Sometimes the fish can change depths and you don't get a message at all. So if you notice you're not getting XP drops for a while, quickly raise and lower the nets to reset things. You likely missed a prompt. I really hope Jagex looks into improving this because the spots change so very often, sometimes so quickly that by the time you and your crewmate are set up, the fish are already on the move again. It's not perfect, but this is how the method works for now. Deep sea trawling overall is definitely something. It looks amazing on paper, but in practice it's mostly you chasing fish that move every 5 seconds, missing half the prompts and wondering why the XP is this bad for something that requires full focus. You're basically here for money and collection logs, not XP. If you came for XP, just turn the boat around. Hopefully Jagex smooths this out because right now it definitely needs some love. Appreciate you guys, and honestly, this was only possible due to a kind-hearted clan member who helped pay for some of the upgrades on this big boat, so shout out to him. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your trawling.